you think happens when I go to a party? And if I say I'm an interior designer at a party, I'm gonna ask somebody what do you think happens? What do you think?
They ask you about their own house and how they should.
Correct. So as soon as I say, if I'm at a, for the first question is, what do you do for a living, right? That's what people ask you when you are at a party of unknown people. And so as soon as I say I'm an interior designer, they'll go, hey, I have this bedroom and I'm thinking of painting it apple green. What do you think? What's your response? What do you all think about that? If that's what you're asked, now that you're interior designer, starting today, you're at a party and that happens to you. What do you do?
Ask to see the room.
You ask to see the room, put a plus. What else?
Tell them you figure out a way that you can consult with the person or exchange information so that
Okay,
because
exchange.
you're at a party, you don't necessarily want to.
Exchange the information. That's A right there. Here's what I want you to understand. This is a business. We're not here to provide freebies. The only person you owe a freebie to, the only person you owe a freebie to is your mother. She gave birth to you, she raised you. She has earned the right for you to do freebies for her. Outside of that, this is a job and you need to treat it as such. So what I want you to write down is what I have here, which is you're gonna teach people how to treat you. So what we wanna establish right off the bat, is that I'm a professional and I wanna be treated as such.
And I don't do freebies.
Okay, so you have to learn how to do that in a way that doesn't alienate people and that you learn to do it well. So the first thing was your first homework. What was your first homework?
Business card.
A business card. That is your contract. That is your way to say, what is a contract essentially? Let's sort of decompose or deconstruct what we're trying to do here. A contract is an agreement, correct?
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's a contract. What are you gonna do? What am I gonna do? You're gonna do this, I'm gonna pay you this. It's a contract, right? So as soon as somebody says, what do you think? Should I paint my bedroom apple green? They're looking for a freebie. Would we go up to a doctor and take a scalpel and go, I have a little thing here, can you operate right? No, we expect to make an appointment, go to their job, and pay them, correct? So we have to teach people how to do that with us because people think you just come up of this stuff on top of your head. It's no work, no effort required. You will learn how much effort this is. You cannot just answer that question even if you saw the space because you have not done the job of the process of interior design. And you will see how much work that is just to answer that one question. So how do we teach people how to treat us? We immediately take out a business card and we say, I'm so happy that you're interested in my services. I would love to help you. Do you see how we're friendly? Because the person that lives in my head, by the way, there's a lot of people living here. If we record this, I'm gonna be locked up for schizophrenia. But I have people that live, and I'm sure you all have them too. And I have a warrior princess that comes out and goes, no, she didn't. She wants a freebie. No, right? So I go, no, go sit down. Go sit down. We'll deal with you later. Get the diplomat chick out. Get her. Bring her out. And we'll deal with you later. And the diplomat goes, what? She goes, I'd love to help you. Here's my business card. I can't wait to hear from you. Now, a show of hands. If I give out 10 business cards, 10, how many phone calls am I going to get?
Two.
2 or 1? 2 or 1 or none?
Max 3.
Max, yeah, maybe 3. I would doubt it because people are looking for a freebie. We want to eliminate that. Does that make sense? It's very important. You want to eliminate because you're not. Hey, did you guys take a shower this morning?
Yes.
I hope so. Did you get dressed?
Yes.
Did you gas up your car at some point? Get in the car and drive over here?
Yes.
Did you pay for the program for this class?
Yes.
You're gonna sit here and listen to me for 4 hours bloviate, right? I'm gonna talk for 4 hours. That's your energy and effort that you're sitting here spending with me, right? Then you're gonna drive home and you're gonna do it multiple times with multiple teachers for multiple years, just so you can what?
Work
Can we-
for freebie. No.
Get paid
Does that
for
make
it.
sense?
Yeah, it's not.
Does that make sense?
Doesn't.
No, Miss S, that does not make sense. We do not do that, right? So what we want to do is we want to understand that we are as important as the person who is hiring us. She works with me. We are both necessary. I can't do my job without her. She can't do her job without me. So we want to vet, is this a good marriage? And certainly part of that has to be money. And the sooner you can drop the people who are not going to pay you, the better. Because again, do you want to get dressed, drive, and not get paid? The answer is no, right? Correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
I can't hear you.
Correct.
Correct.
No, Miss S, we don't want to get not paid, right? So, how do we teach them how to treat us? We give them business card, we see who calls back. Now let's play the next part. We just did this. This is the best. All right. I will be the person looking for services. Who wants to play the designer with me? Okay, go. You raised your hand, go. Yeah.
You're calling me?
Yeah. Ready?
I'm ready.
Pick up your phone. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I got your card, remember, at Melody's party. And I wanted to know if you wanted to come over and help me pick out my apple green color for my bedroom.
Sure.
Can you come over? I have Wednesday open. Can you come over on Wednesday at like 2?
Let me check.
Okay.
Yes, I am available Wednesday at 2.
All right. I will email you my address or text you my address, and I'll see you at 2 on Wednesday.
Sounds good.
Okay.
However, we will discuss the consultation and what that will cost for me coming out.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I'm talking to you. We're playing. We're still on the phone. You told me however, so I'm waiting. However what? However, what? What did you just say?
There will be a fee for me to come out to do a consultation so that I can look at the space and we can discuss different design.
What is the fee?
Are you asking me how much it is or what it's for?
You were telling me there is a fee, so I'm asking you, what do you mean?
Oh, the fee is for me coming out and assessing the space.
Oh, okay. Well, how much is it?
It is $50.
Oh, okay. Let me think about that.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
How did she do? Do you see the problem? There's multiple problems with that. Because do you see how uncomfortable she was for asking? Correct? Were you comfortable asking me to pay you?
Yes, I was uncomfortable with the flow of the, I
Right.
was in my head too much, so.
Okay. How many of you, okay, anybody can want to play better? Let's do it again. Anybody can do better? No. Okay, let me explain to you the problem with what just happened. The problem is that, especially right now, if you get that phone call right now, you don't feel like you can ask for money. We have a problem, especially, and by the way, we have one guy, but the rest of you are women. Women have a much harder asking for money than men do. Hopefully with the younger generation, that's changing. I'm hoping, because I have 2 girls. But the truth is, that's part of the problem. But I want to teach you how to do it well and feel comfortable doing it. And it'll take care of multiple problems, because there's another problem that she did not address, is the expectations. So let's play this, but now I'll be the designer and you can be my question asker, right? Here we go. Ring, ring. Well, you're calling me.
Okay.
Call me.
Good morning. Is this Miss S?
It is Miss S.
Hi, Miss S. This is Paris Bullock. I met you over at the
Oh,
party.
Paris, I remember you. Yeah, I met you at that party and I gave you my card, so I'm hoping to help you.
Yes, thank you. So I was wondering what.
You're looking for me to come out and look at your bedroom? I
Yes,
remember
I
you
am.
were asking about that. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Correct. I have a question for you before we even get started. Have you ever worked with a designer before?
No, I have not. This is my first.
You have not. Would you mind terribly if I explain to you how we function and how we work?
Sure. Go right ahead.
Okay. So there's different types of designers out there. There are some like that work for bathroom and kitchen companies. And so what they do is they're staff designers and they're selling that product only that particular store carries. And so they're not really 100% looking at the whole picture. They'll be solving it, and that price tag that they charge is baked into the product. There's also designers who work independently, where we assess the entire space, we assess entirely your situation, which would require a 2-hour interview, where we really assess like what your needs are and how to solve them best, and then we get to shop everywhere that's possible to create the solutions that would best suit your needs. And for that, those designers charge, and they charge by the hour, sometimes by project, and I can give you more information on that. And so that's how that works. Are you still interested in possibly pursuing this further? Because it would require about a 2-hour, interview to begin with.
Yes, I'll still be interested. How
Okay.
much is it for 2 hours?
I charge $150 an hour, so whether I even stay there for 2 hours, it depends, but we will be charging about $300. Not about, actually, you should just say $300. But I also have to tell you that it will require 2 hours of your time as well as mine time that we have to schedule in, so that when we do schedule, I would need that time. And also beforehand, I will send you some onboarding stuff so we can have our contract signed, the deposit is put into where it needs to be put in, and then there's some homework before I even get there for you to play with so that we can get started right away as soon as I arrive. Is that acceptable to you?
Yes, that's acceptable.
I'm very excited, so I'm gonna get your availability. I'm only available rarely, so tell me what your availability is and let's see if we can schedule it.
Is Wednesday at 2 o'clock okay?
Let me take a look and check with my team and I'll call you back.
Okay.
How did that go?
I think you postured the client really well. You gave the client all that she needed until the next time.
Yes. And what I did was, I gave her an opportunity to back out.
Right.
Because again, we might get 10 phone calls. How many clients do you get out of 10?
Oh,
1 or 2,
Me too.
if that. Do you understand? I have to tell you an experience we just had. Can I tell that one? We had, I had a phone call about 3 months ago. And somebody said, we're looking for a designer. Your name was given to us by a real estate agent who spoke so highly of you, blah, blah, blah. We want to hire you. I said, I'm really not in the market right now to take clients on. So let me think if I can find somebody else. And she said, no, you were highly recommended. And I said, you don't understand. I am very particular, so I would have to make sure we're a good fit. And I said, plus I'm busy, I'm teaching this stuff. And so she said, oh, that's cool. And I said, I tell you what, I've never done this before. Why don't you come to class, meet me in class and see if this is your flavor. And you still want to hire me, or maybe you can find another person in my class, because again, I try to pass on projects. She actually took me up. She came and sat. She actually sat where you sit. And she stayed for the entire 2 classes. And at the end, I said, what do you think? Maybe one of the students? She goes, no, I really want to hire you. I said, okay, maybe I'll consider it, but would you be okay if I took a student along? And there was a student who was sitting where you're sitting, Michelle, and she was very interested. She was very good at this point, and I had seen her work, so I'm like, good. And by the way, she listened to the lecture where I talked about charging, just like this. She leaves, and we text back and forth, and she's like, yes, I'm interested. I said, it's Christmas time, we'll wait till New Year's. She texts me back, yes, I'm interested. So I go through the whole spiel. I'm like, onboarding, she was there listening. I said, I was pushing it on her. I would kind of be the backup, and then the other student would come in, we'll come in, and we will be a team. I do the whole onboarding thing, the whole thing, just like I just did. We actually send her our contract. We send her all our onboarding stuff that she had to do. They do some of it. The contract does not come back signed yet, and they did not do the Pinterest part, and we'll talk about that as well. They did not come back yet. So was it this Wednesday? Was it just this recent? Or was it a week before? I can't remember. But anyway, one of the Wednesdays, we were supposed to get the stuff back by Monday. And I was busy with Melody doing other projects, and so I'm like, we'll push it off till Wednesday. So Wednesday, I call her and I go, hey, we're scheduled on Saturday to come out. It was this weekend because this Saturday. So I said, we're scheduled this Saturday. I want to double check again. You want to make sure that they know to come, that they didn't forget, that, all of that. I said, so I want to make sure that the contract is signed. Please sign it. I will send you the routing number so that you can deposit the money. What did she say, Melody?
She said, I thought this was complimentary.
She goes, is the first 2 hours not complimentary? We have had multiple conversations. We sent you a contract that's clearly stated what we charge, how long, the whole thing.
So did she read it?
I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know. I was not with her. And I said, and I've been trying to not take this client on. So I was like, are we kidding? I was like, what? She was on speaker and we were all together. Whitney, you, me, we were all there. I'm like, yeah, no. Why would you think it was complimentary? She's like, can I call you back? Because I didn't realize that. Please call me back. At this point, I'm like, yeah, you're done. She called me back within how long?
An hour.
An hour. Within an hour. And by the way, we had scheduled this. This is why it's important to do it the way I'm teaching you guys. We had scheduled it. If we did not follow up, we would have driven out there, and I would have been very unhappy with her because we were very clear. She had the contract and everything. So the follow-up is important as well, right? And so we had scheduled Melody, me, and I never work on weekends because usually I'm with my family. But this weekend I could take it on because they were at the that's what you were overhearing me. They were still at the volleyball tournament in Florida. And so I could take it on, and that's why I was even going, because it was just gonna be them. And I had to call, well, you were there, but I had to call Michelle and go, yeah, we're off. And so that's how important it is. But let me do a little bit more role playing with you, because here's the thing. What if the answer was, and this is why it's important, what if the answer was, yes, I have worked with a client before? I mean, with an interior designer before.
You still give them the spiel because you might work differently.
Before you give them the spiel, what you want to find out is if it's a good fit. Do you see how I've been telling you? I need to be a good fit as a teacher. You want to find out if this is a problem child. Because if it's a problem child, you want to leave them to somebody else to raise. I'm not raising, I have my kids. I don't need to raise other people's kids, especially adult ones. You follow me?
Yes.
I don't take problem child on. Here's the thing. I want to take 20% of the clients to get 80% results versus 100% where that 20 is going to cost me 80% of my energy. No, thank you. Leave them. Truly. I know when you're hungry and you're just starting out, it's like Miss S, it's easy to say. Trust me. You don't want to work for everybody. Am I right, Melody?
Absolutely.
What does that cost you? Your soul.
Yes.
You do not want to work with people who are not a good fit. It doesn't mean they're not good fit for somebody else, but you do not leave them. You do what you want. This is my opinion, but I highly recommend it. But here's what you want to say. If they say, yes, we worked with a designer, you want to vet if they're a problem. So I would say, oh, you worked with a designer before. Why are you not going to them?
Yeah, why you decided to change?
Why are you all of a sudden looking for another designer? So you're going to either hear something like, oh, I used them when I was living in Italy, or I used them when I was in California and they're not available here and I want blah, blah, blah. Fine, not a problem. How did you all work? I paid her, blah, blah, blah. I understand the whole thing. I know it's 2 hours, whatever. Good, we take that client on. But if the client says, oh, the designer was blah, and now we hear gossip about how terrible they are, red flags, red flags, red flags, red flags. You do your business however you want to. I would not take that client on. So do you see how my process on that phone is to make sure that this is a business, to make sure we are creating expectation. Okay, so this is the other one. Hold on. That's the agreement. No, hold on. So we didn't go back. This is what I want you to write. People are never disappointed with what they get. They're only disappointed if they don't get what they expect. And I'm going to do one more example and then the class is over.
Say that again. People.
People are never disappointed with what they get. And I'll give you an example so it's very clear, because slogans are everywhere. Well, but you want to understand how this works. People are never disappointed with what they get. They're only disappointed if they don't get what they expect. Let me show you what I mean. So as soon as you stop writing, look up so I can do it and we can take a break. Ready? Look up. All right. Let's pretend I'm in matchmaking game. I'm playing matchmaker for women who are looking for husbands. Okay? So this is woman number one, this is woman number two. Woman number one comes and says, I want him to be a man. I want him to be available, so don't bring me married people. And I want him to be funny. Okay? Those are criteria. Woman number two says, I want him to be a man. I want him to be available. I want him to be funny. I want him tall, and I want him rich. Don't bring me anybody broke. Okay? I find a man who is available and funny. Is she happy if I bring him to her?
Yeah.
Did I meet her requirements? She wanted a man. I found a man. She wanted him available. He's available. She wanted him funny. He's funny. He's a comedian. He's a stand-up comedian. Is she happy?
Yes.
She's happy. I bring the same guy to this woman. She wants him to be a man. She wants him available. She wants him funny. Did I meet those?
Mm-hmm.
But he's short and broke. Is she happy?
No.
She can go, did I not explain clearly my expectations? Take it back. Do you understand what I mean? If you get what you expect, you're okay. You're happy. But if you get what you didn't expect, you're not that happy. So, what we want to do, and this is another thing to write, we want to under-promise and over-deliver. Because if I bring a man who is available, funny, tall, and rich to this girl, did I meet her expectations? I exceeded them. How happy is she going to be with me? So, on these phone calls, we want to be very clear. We want to tell them exactly what we expect. We expect to get paid. We expect 2 hours to be set aside. And they need to know what they're to expect. So one of the things you also need to explain to them is that it's a consultation. They will not get the answer at that point. You need to say, yes, we're going to gather the information. We're going to research everything. We're going to take it back to our office. We're going to put a comprehensive approach, and we'll bring it back to you. So, one more time. We teach people how to treat us. We do it by creating clear expectations. so they're not disappointed or we're not disappointed, and we under promise and over deliver.